Thanks for joining a couple of 90s kids. You're listening to Stuck in My Generation. Yes. Yeah. We are back. And I'm going to clue you in on something. You're going to hear a whole lot of, back up, what you going to do now? Yeah. Because next episode is Limp Bizkit.
That's right.
Why did we decide to do Limp Bizkit? I don't know. We both all of a sudden have an affinity for all things Limp Bizkit ever since they did the Lollapalooza tour and then abruptly canceled the rest of their events. We're like, why was Limp Bizkit on Lollapalooza? Well, let's fucking watch and find out. Let's just watch and find out why Limp Bizkit was on Lollapalooza. And me and Hicks watched Lollapalooza and Limp Bizkit. And guess what, motherfuckers? We enjoyed that shit. It's fun as fuck.
It's going to be a good discussion.
It is most definitely going to be a good discussion. I don't know if it'll be as good as the Billie Eilish. I keep calling her eyelash.
That's all right.
Billie Eilish discussion, but I'd say Limp Bizkit might be a little more fun. This one might be a little more serious, but who knows?
Yeah.
We're having fruity drinks tonight.
That's right.
We're acting as if we are in the Caribbean or on vacation at Disney or the Bahamas, and we're drinking really fruity shit, and I have zero shame about it.
Oh, it's good stuff.
It's fucking delicious.
I'm all about the sweet drinks. Billie Eilish. Is Eilish her real last name?
Yeah. Just so you know.
Every question I'm going to ask.
Any question that comes my way, I'm like, yeah. And you know what? It's a two-way street with that, because when I do that Fred Durst, it half reminds me of Fred Durst and half reminds me of Dave Chappelle doing Lil Jon.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
but
that's good stuff.
I like to think it's just Fred. Yeah. But I think that's her. I don't know if her and Phineas are like half siblings or what.
Yeah, I don't have any idea.
Maybe we should look this shit up. Maybe we should look and see if that's her real name, because I honestly don't know if Billie Eilish's actual. I don't think it is. Billie Eilish real name. And the reason we're doing this episode too, I want to know what the big deal is.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, I really want to know what the big deal is.
Yeah.
Billie, I didn't even have to spell her whole name and it still brought her up.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish, Pirate Baird O'Connell. So her last name is really O'Connell. Is it really
O'Connell.
Pirate Baird? So she's Billie Eilish Pirate Beard.
Beard?
O'Connell.
Beard? Or
Baird? It says Baird, but I want to call her Pirate Beard.
Spell the Baird.
Baird.
Okay.
Baird. Right? Baird?
Yeah, that's what I would.
Two beards, one cave kind of thing? Billie Eilish?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Phineas. I know that Phineas's name is O'Connell. Apparently Billie's name is O'Connell.
Okay.
Pirate Baird. I don't. This is very confusing. That can't be her full. Billie Eilish, Pirate Baird O'Connell.
Wow.
That says that's her name. Billie Eilish, Pirate Baird O'Connell.
That's a lot.
That's too much. That's just a little much, Billie.
She was destined to be famous with a name like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime you go by Pirate Beard, you are going to be famous. There's famous. Now I called her famous. Billie Eilish.
No.
What's her age? I think she's 19, right? She's 19, born in 2001.
Okay.
That makes me feel old because I think I damn near had a kid as she was born.
That's all right. Don't feel old.
So she's, I'm old enough to be her papa.
That's all right.
That's okay. She's huge, man.
I know.
She is huge. Phipps said that's some good Jackson County education there. Yes, Sean Pirate Beard Phipps, you are correct. You are correct.
He does have a pirate beard.
Yeah, Phipps does have a pirate beard.
Yeah.
A lot of Jackson County folks, which I know he don't live here, but a lot of folks have the pirate beard going on.
Yeah.
So, I feel like mine's getting a little out of hand. Mine's getting a little, not piratey, but.
Is it at the itchy point?
No,
There's
it's past that.
It's past the itchy point? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Ask me a question.
Do you like your drink?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you ready for Halloween?
Break shit. Yeah.
So what did you know about Billie Eilish before going into this?
Bad guy. That's it.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
Butcher says, Jeremy, figured I'd yell at you while you work like you do. motherfucker, you're drunk or something. I can't read this shit, Aaron Pirate Beard Butcher. But bad guy. That's really it. The whole
Yeah.
boom. That's all I know. And I heard that, and I'm like, that's catchy. Why is she whispering? You know. And besides that, my other knowledge with her pre-episode goes back to another thing I talk about way too much, and that's Dave Grohl, Foo Fighters. You know, Dave Grohl's daughter likes Billie Eilish. She introduced him to Billie Eilish. He made the comment that he regarded Billie Eilish as the next Nirvana. Not musically. Like,
I understand.
The impact.
I understand.
The impact.
Have you ever heard Dave Grohl say anything bad about anybody?
Not, yes, but I can't remember who it was. There was a band that he talked shit about, and they made up. Dave Grohl took it upon himself to go into the guy's dressing room at a concert. They were both at a festival and like wanted to bury the hatchet. So even though he said something shitty, he still went in like, "Hey, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
You know. So no, not really. I don't think I've ever heard him say anything bad, but I also missed an opportunity. You asked me if I'd heard anything, Dave Grohl say anything bad. I just, I missed that opportunity.
That's all right.
But
that's all right.
Yes and no, but but that's big words from Dave Grohl. I've not really heard him say any other artist was going to be this or that. I've read so many interviews because I just love the guy.
I do too.
I love him as if he was my family member. I just think he's so kind, and I appreciate people like that. So I read and support, and that's the only time I've ever seen him talk that highly about an artist. And I was like, really? So, and I still didn't listen, But I was like, I'm gonna have to eventually check that shit out. It was a couple years ago, but
sure.
What was your
I was a little bit aware of the second album. My son would listen to it on the way to school in the mornings, and we kind of skimmed through it a little bit. What was it? The Crown song. You Should See Me in a Crown.
Yeah, which is
that
another
song.
I can't. I'm eager to talk about some of this. The more we.
Yeah. So I was aware of that. I kind of knew about the bad guy. I kind of heard it in the background a little bit, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But back to Dave Grohl. The Wu-Tang discussion. Wu-Tang. I felt bad after that discussion.
Man, you gotta be honest. That's what this shit's all about.
I know, but I felt as if I was a little bit disrespectful. And I thought I listened to a lot of Dave Grohl interviews. He's just a good dude, just a sweet dude. And people ask him about a band. He's like, "Oh man, they rock." They just rock. And it's just a good feeling.
Yeah.
And I thought I might be taking the wrong approach. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I kind of shifted that, this music's not for me.
Right.
I kind of said that instead. I don't think instead of saying they suck, they're horrible, blah, 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 blah. I just said, this music's not really for me. So that's kind of the approach that I'm taking from this point on.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, there's.
I just want to be a dick. I don't want to be a dick about it.
Yeah, but at the same time, sometimes we're going to get pissed. That Nickelback episode, fuck them.
Oh yeah, that's different.
Fuck them.
That's on a different level.
Yeah, different level.
Yeah.
I want to break Chad Kroger's face tonight. Give me some. Yeah. Sorry, folks, you're going to hear that shit a lot tonight because.
And the next,
if you're just joining us, Limp Bizkit's the next fucking band that we're going to deep dive and listen to every motherfucking album.
Yeah, I'm already. I've got a good start already.
I've got a good start as well too. But back to the eyelash.
That's
all I knew. I didn't even know that she had an album. Which, granted, if you followed along this journey with us on Billie Eilish for this episode, I hope you started with the album "Don't Smile at Me." It's not considered an official album as far as her professional career goes. I guess the Bad Guy, that album, When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, that's considered to be her first studio album, and then this newest one's the second. But she has a release, and there's popular songs off of it, and it's a full album, so I'm counting it.
Okay.
I'm counting it.
Sure.
So, and I jammed that out, and I guess I'm not ready quite yet. I want to say something about the Bad Guy song.
I have something else to say, too, before we jump in. But go ahead.
My
I don't
quick
mean
thing
to...
about no, you're good. My quick and only quick snippet. Other Billie Eilish experience. My kids love the Bad Guy song, but done with a rubber chicken on YouTube.
I've seen some of those. That's some good shit.
Some good shit. You can really get this. Mike can mosh to that.
How can you squeeze those notes out of it? 2 episodes
Good
from
stuff.
now, we're going to be talking about the rubber chicken.
Rubber chicken. All the best rubber chicken songs.
That popped up on my feed, and I thought, what in the hell?
Fuck
How is
yeah.
this person doing this
That's
shit?
the next Nirvana right there. You heard the Believer one? It's fucking good stuff. Every time my kids see one of those in a store, which Party City, be careful, they have them.
Okay.
They pick them up and they're like,
Yeah, you don't. You don't want to bring one of those home.
fuck no. Fuck no.
Uh,
So yeah,
funny.
rubber chickens, Billie Eilish.
yeah.
That's my experience. But we talked about wanting to do this. And again, I cannot really clarify it by words how big this girl is.
Oh
she
my
is
God.
fucking huge.
Oh my God, like her followers?
Yeah.
Gazillions.
Gazillions.
It's unreal.
I look at like the artists that we love, Beatles, Stones, and then new stuff, Tool, Foo Fighters, all this stuff.
Yeah.
One of those are lucky to have 10 million followers on YouTube Music,
Right.
which is not even it's not Spotify. Spotify is huge. I bet Billie Eilish has pushing 100. Well, fuck, let's look.
Okay.
Probably over 100 million followers on Spotify. On YouTube Music, she has like 50 million. I'm like, God, she's huge, man.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the magnitude.
Oh, that's a
100
lot.
million people listen to your music.
That's crazy.
It's completely nuts.
Yeah.
So I mean, she's just huge, and I really want to know why.
Sure.
And we figured it out,
Sure.
or we didn't. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Rubber chicken's still on my mind, but don't smile at me. We'll get to that after you said you had one more Eilish thought. Did you already say it or no?
No, I didn't say it yet. Before going into this review, I listened to a podcast interview with the Black Keys. Patrick Carney, the drummer for the Black Keys, was talking about Billie Eilish.
Really?
And it was a very interesting comment. He said, and I don't remember his exact statement, but he said, in today's time, Billie Eilish could pop up every month. And I thought, what an odd statement. And this is before I went into listening to the albums.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of test that theory against our review a little bit.
Okay, that's a good point to kind of play off of throughout the episode.
Yeah.
Because my first reaction to that was I half agree and I half disagree. That's my initial thought was like, I get that statement,
Yeah.
and I also don't.
And I thought, is he hearing something that a lot of people aren't? I mean, just what? Is he
only hearing the singles? I mean, because that's why
I don't know.
that's another reason we do this. Like we're doing Limp Bizkit next week or in 2 weeks. Why? Because we've only heard the singles for the most part. You know,
Yeah.
Got to have faith. Did it all for the nookie. My generation.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck about. It just I want to know all of it because sometimes singles don't tell the story of an artist.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hear a single and you go listen to the album and the whole album's better than the single.
Dire Straits.
It happens, Dire. Yeah. No.
No.
Butcher says, love the hair hicks.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Thanks, Butcher.
So, yeah, that's kind of my reference point. Go ahead. I'm
Phip
sorry.
said Guns N' Roses. No. No. Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. Maybe in 2024. I don't know. I just feel I don't think I like Guns N' Roses at all. I'm quite confident that I don't care for Guns N' Roses at all. I'd rather listen to Limp Bizkit.
I have some thoughts about Guns N' Roses, some elements that I like, and it's more the personality. There's some of it that I don't like, but I don't want to stray away. Oh. I want to. What's that?
Phip said that's no, not review him. That's who Dave Grohl talked bad about. He talked bad about someone else too. I can't remember who it was.
Okay.
Afghan Wigs, or I don't know. It was someone secret. I don't know.
Nirvana.
Some weird.
He's bashing Nirvana.
Bashing Nirvana said their drummer sucked.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know Dave Grohl talked bad about Guns N' Roses. That's kind of crazy. I thought one of the. How could he talk bad about them? I think Slash is the one that gave him that throne when he broke his leg.
Axl broke his leg, didn't he?
I feel like one of those dudes on Guns N' Roses gave Dave Grohl that throne
They
to sit
swapped
on,
thrones.
and then like Dave gave one of them one of his favorite guitars or something crazy. We'll have to look more into that
that's
eventually.
definitely something to look into.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know
But-
there was a cool Slash story pertaining to Joe Perry missing a guitar. Slash ended up with it, and blah blah blah.
I've read that one. Yeah.
And it's kind of a cool story. So
Musicians
anyways.
helping musicians.
yeah.
Who's Billie Eilish helped? Anybody?
Phineas.
Phineas.
She's got Phineas a house.
He's got like a single and shit.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, I guess he does music.
Okay.
So, who knows? There may be a Phineas and Ferb episode in our future.
Phineas and Ferbius.
Yeah. Billie Eilish, don't smile at me. I'm gonna say right off the bat,
Say it.
the song "Copycat," which is the opening track on the album. I thought this is fucking cool.
Okay.
Like I just thought it was cool as fuck. I find after this song that the bad guy sound, and you mentioned another one that was off the other album.
You Should See Me in a Crown.
You Should See Me in a Crown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that and Bad Guy and Copycat is a little spoiler. That's the Billie Eilish sound that I dug.
Sure.
That's what I dug. The techno-y, dark, trip hop, kind of weird shit. I kind of dug that. So the Copycat song, I still like it. I actually wrote down I love this song. It's a cool brooding vibe. What confuses me is that's not just what she sounds like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different stuff. But did you like Copycat? Did it hit you like album 1, song 1? Did you have thoughts, or were you ready to get to the next song?
Track number 1, Copycat. My notes say her vocal tone, her range is the light, the music is the dark. It's a combination of the two.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved
Cool.
this first track.
I do
really
too.
Enjoyed it. I thought, what a heavy opener.
Yeah.
I thought, what is next?
Yeah.
I want to see
and
what's
that's her
next.
first album, and all I know is Bad Guy at this point, and I'm like, damn. I was like, maybe I'm gonna understand what it is about Billie Eilish that everyone loves, because I do like that. And I struggled just after this song with, is this really something new, or is this just her getting it right? Because it doesn't sound necessarily like some new, it's not an eye-opening moment like Nirvana or grunge whenever you go from pour some sugar on, stupid and contagious. It's different. Like Nirvana opened my eyes, I was like, what the fuck is this? And I'm putting my Warrant cassette off to the side, like not even looking at it, and accidentally push it off the table as I'm watching that. Billie Eilish sounds really cool, but I just don't know if it's original enough.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah, I don't
well,
know
I
if
don't
it's
want to say groundbreaking. Yeah. It didn't. Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like it's a refined mix of a lot of genres, pop and dark. I don't even know what to call it. So, I mean, I guess it's cool enough that I don't know what to call it.
Right.
Because it's some kind of dark, weird. One of the references I have in here is something off a John Wick soundtrack.
And I'll tell you, that's very funny, because I thought this entire album, I felt like I was listening to a soundtrack to like an animated Spider-Man movie or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a lot of different emotion, a lot of different sounds. And,
Soundtrack to that Spider-Man movie is really good, too.
oh, the Post Malone song.
Yeah. That's my 5-year-old's favorite song. We get
that's
in the
good
car and like, what do you
shit.
want to listen to, Connor? He's like, Sunflower.
That's such a good
Yeah.
jam.
It is good.
I love
And there's one called Hello Danger on there. It's a good jam.
Okay, I'll have to check it
It's
out.
that whole soundtrack's pretty solid, actually.
Good.
But yeah, this first song, I'm like, I felt like, and I've listened to John Wick soundtracks. They're pretty good, because the second movie, there's a scene where he's just killing motherfuckers in an underground, like there's a band and it's like underground. There's like red lights behind him. It's real dark and brooding, and they're playing this really ominous, fucking dark, creepy pop
Sure.
while John Wick's shooting people, and like no one hears because the music's so loud, like
Yeah.
doing John Wick shit. And I love all the music on those soundtracks, so I was like, I think I might like Billie Eilish.
Okay.
And then we get to I Don't Want to Be You Anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was like, okay, this is different.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Uh-huh.
Something's happening here, and I don't know how to process it. Same with My Boy. My boy, my
Yeah.
boy, my boy.
Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, what happened?
Yeah.
You know, I heard the Copycat. I've heard the other dark pop stuff. I was like, this is very strange. I don't know what to think of any of this. Did you have thoughts on I Don't Want to Be You Anymore? My first thought, and I'm going to repeat this a lot, was she's also, I like how you said that the music's the dark and her voice is the light.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like her whole career right now, me listening to this first album, is Lily Allen dark. And I know a lot of people probably don't listen to Lily Allen or have heard Lily Allen, but Lily Allen has this little bit of a whispery, soft, but also attitude-y voice, but the music's a little more upbeat than Billie Eilish's. And I just kind of thought, if I was going to say that she has an influence that's really heavy on her sleeve, I'm going to say it's Lily Allen. Who knows, that might not actually be an influence, but in my eyes, I was like, this girl likes Lily Allen, and she's just darkening up and kind of techno-popping up Lily Allen style.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I agree
That's
with
what I
that.
gathered from this.
Sure.
And then the My Boy song, I was like, she also liked Britney. She also liked
Yeah.
Britney and her
Yeah.
topless Instagram photos, which I just want to say now, I'm just totally for it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The I Don't Want to Be You Anymore. I thought this sounds kind of, it sounded mature. It sounded, because she was like, what, 16 whenever this album came out, I think. I think so.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a little bit, I don't mean to sound gross, but it was kind of just a little bit sexy. I mean, just the sound of it a little bit.
Well, yeah,
But-
yeah, and you don't know you're listening to a 16-year-old
Yeah.
girl. I mean, the Bad Guy song is extremely, and I don't think she was 19 or 18 when that came out. I think she
Okay.
was 17 when that
Okay.
song came out, and it's pretty fucking dirty.
Yeah. So it was, it was a lot different from the first track. Then when I got to My Boy,
My boy, yeah.
I said, okay.
Fuck this, is what I
kinda
said.
getting bored.
Yeah.
I'm getting bored with this. I'm going to switch over to some other stuff.
And
then
again,
come
keep in
back.
mind, folks, this is pre-blow up. This is, nobody knew who she was during this.
And I'd like to say something. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I can wait on this because
Okay.
it's a song later on.
Something that impacted me. I listened to this album twice. The first time I listened to it, I was feeling good. I was in a good mood. And I thought, this is some really good shit. I really liked it. And it made my good mood into a better mood. And then I kind of went off the trail a little bit, switched from audio to video, and watched a few live performances, came back and revisited this album, and my feelings had changed.
And we talked about that. We didn't talk a lot about this journey, but you specifically, I could tell early on you were super impressed.
Yeah.
And then you're like, the live stuff, not so much. And I got an explanation for why that's might be the case too.
Okay.
But I'm with you. First album, I listened to all the way through, and I was like, I have hope.
Yeah.
And I jammed that album a few more times, and I was like,
Okay.
maybe hope's the strong word.
Yeah, yeah. And I have, staying on this album, skip ahead a little bit, the track Ocean Eyes. And can you explain to some of our listeners why we can't play the songs on here?
Yeah, copyright infringement.
Okay.
One, we're on YouTube. We stream it to YouTube, so if we play that music, it can remove the video completely. Podcast, same thing. You can't play music on a podcast unless you have the rights to. That's why Rick Rubin on his Broken Record podcast, he can play the shit out of all that stuff because all he's got to do is call somebody and be like, hey, motherfucker, it's Rick Rubin. Can I use your song on the podcast? They're like, I'm not going to tell you no because I'd like you to produce my next album.
Yeah.
No one's calling us to say, Bark and Hicks, can you produce our next album? Because if they did, I'd say, yeah.
Well, thank you for explaining that.
Yes, I wish we could because it would surely make it a lot better. So, Billy, if you're hearing this and we don't piss you off, We'll redo it if you let us play your music. Just saying.
I'd like to get to the track number 7, Ocean Eyes. This song
It's beautiful.
was a beautiful song, and I don't think I ever want to hear it again. It was it was a pretty song. Just really wasn't for me.
I like it. I still like it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think this is the song I was going to say something about. Because how she got noticed, I believe, if I'm wrong, I apologize. But I seem to recall Ocean Eyes was on SoundCloud.
Okay.
And it blew up on SoundCloud,
Okay.
which made
I can see why.
companies recognize and be like, oh, shit, it's a race to sign this girl.
Yeah.
Because the song, I guess, went crazy on SoundCloud. I got 2 songs on SoundCloud. Neither one of mine's went nuts yet. Neither one of them. Maybe it's because through the whole thing, I was like, yeah, I'm from Southern Ohio, yeah. Neither one of them's blown up, though. So record companies, if you want to check my
They
songs
might now.
out,
They might now.
there's some good shit if you like Limp Bizkit. But yeah, Ocean Eyes, I dug it. The song Watch I thought was solid. I want to fill in the gaps between Ocean Eyes and My Boy.
Sure.
Party Favor,
Yes.
I just thought Lily Allen,
Okay.
Jack Johnson, and some Disney with a little bit of ukulele. And
Yeah.
I just wasn't digging it.
Yeah.
Bellyache, more Jack Johnson, more Lily Allen. Changes things up a little bit into some trans techno at the end of the song, but I just, this album alone, I understand Ocean Eyes. I understand Copycat getting her a deal. I totally understand.
Oh,
it.
I do too.
The rest of the album, however, I mean, this is, it's nothing new to me. The song Hostage after Ocean Eyes was very Taylor Swiftish.
Okay.
The new Taylor Swiftish album's very
Okay.
folky, happy, breathy, everything, every word I say. It's gonna be breathy. Yeah.
You know, there were some songs on this album, and I don't hate to say it. I wish somebody else sang.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know
yeah,
who.
I understand that. I think the techno whispery voice works, but when she tries to go all Amy Winehouse or crooner, like a crooner album, I don't know. To me, it's she loses that edge and she loses that originality when she starts singing "My boy, my boy, my boy."
It's
It's
vanilla.
annoying.
It's vanilla.
I mean, it's a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
Because it's like we've heard you be original, and then we have to listen to, you.
You think she was going after a very broad market?
I
audience?
think so, which is smart.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had an idea myself, and again, I'm not a fucking good musician, but I thought, wouldn't it be cool to release an album? Sorry for the too much. Yeah. Wouldn't it? I always thought it would be cool to make an album, to make my own album, where it was just a mix of genres on one album.
Yeah.
Like I did a hip hop thing, did a heavy metal thing, did a grunge thing, did a just
Pedal steel.
catch people off
Country.
guard and see how many people you can reel in with those singles.
Yeah.
Not just for the sake of trying to reel people in, but just because I do like different kinds of music.
Oh, I do too.
There wouldn't
I
be a country
understand.
song on there. I can tell you that.
I understand.
But I mean, the other genres I would like to try my hand at recording some of that shit. And I was like, if I ever put together an album just to throw up on SoundCloud,
I think Limp Bizkit already did it.
yeah, I would try to do that, but not a mix mash of the songs within the song, like a mix mash of this song is this genre, next song is this genre. Catch people off guard, kind of like 5-Piece Chicken Dinner did
Sure.
on Beastie Boys,
Sure.
where you're like listening to Rhyming and Stealing, or listening to the song Car Thief, and then it's like just to catch people off guard. And this album caught me off guard because I thought Billie Eilish was one thing, and then I find out she's doing other things, like the whole real attempt at making beautiful vocals.
Yeah.
And after this album, I just wasn't really sure how I felt. I thought the album was really solid with
Okay.
a few bangers, but I didn't come away with any desire to put her in my normal rotation after this album.
Okay. I felt after listening to the album, going to the live stuff, coming back to listening to this album, I felt or wondered if the production of this album and the beats were carrying the load. I thought, it might be the wizard behind the curtain.
I mean, Phineas I think he won a Grammy for this next album for the production on it.
I can see why.
He's good. I mean, it's really good.
It is.
And something, let's transition real quick and I'll throw a little tidbit out there. When we fall asleep, where do we go? You've got this weird intro and then you've got Bad Guy.
Yeah.
And part of what Phineas is doing masterfully not only is layering those sounds and those beats and those very weird, odd, just noises you don't hear every day in music, he's also layering the fuck out of Billie's vocals.
And you brought that up offline.
Yeah. She's laying one vocal track down, start to finish. I don't know how long it takes. I don't know if she knocks it out in one fell swoop or what.
Yeah.
But as soon as that's done, Phineas is like, hop back in, now doing an octave lower or a half octave higher or whisper it this time or let's go a little deeper, a little softer. I don't know how many fucking times they did this, but I can't count the amount of layers of her vocals because if I sang on a track and was like, you know, I did it all for the nookie, and then I did a retake, and I'm like, I did it all for the nookie, and then I did a retake, I'm like, I did it all for the nookie, and you mix that shit all together, you're going to get this sound that you cannot get with just one vocal track.
And after you mentioned that, when I went back to the live stuff, I thought, I hear those dimensions on this album.
Yeah, and they're not live.
And it's very multi-dimensional on the albums. Yeah. It's very single-dimensional live.
Yes. And that's, as soon as you told me the live stuff didn't quite stack up to the album, my first thought was probably because she can't sing 12 times at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, she can't have 12 mics and have different tones coming out of the corners of her mouth, bottom, top, you know.
You might have just created something.
Right.
Somebody might be listening to this now in their basement and they might order 12 mics off of Amazon.
We might get
you might have influenced somebody.
The guy from Police Academy doing his own album, like, you know.
The Jimi Hendrix guitar sounds.
Yeah, have you ever heard him do that shit?
Oh, man? It's unreal.
It's incredible.
He's still doing I think he's still doing it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But yeah, making those guitar like Van Halen and shit.
It's
like
the whammy pedals.
What is he doing? It's insane.
And there's just minimal effort. There's no physical.
Oh yeah.
Visual.
Yeah, looks like he's playing around with a piece of gum in his mouth. You know, it's nothing. But
yeah,
I just, you know, the layers. The production is definitely, and I don't mean to take anything away from her because I'm going to say this right now. She's talented.
Yeah,
she deserves to be famous. She deserves to be a star. I don't want to say she doesn't deserve to be this big. I don't quite get it yet in this journey why she is that massive. But at the same time, kind of like that whole argument we were talking about earlier, like I half get it, I half don't, Black Keys dude, I also kind of get it.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, I kind of get it. There's just certain songs. Zanny, which is the next song on the second album, I love that one too. And I wrote cool production. Like the production is just off the fucking chain. It's just fucking good. And I love that song. So I'm finding myself with this tug of war of like, loving this girl and also questioning this girl. Like, man, I love some of your stuff. And then, you know, I guess not every single song on an album is going to hit you, but the contrast is so different. You know, it's like cool as fuck song. Oh, Amy Winehouse tribute. Cool as fuck song. Lily Allen tribute. Yeah. I had a hard time with it going back and forth, but hats off to Phineas. That dude, I'm pretty sure this the Don't Smile at Me album, I think that was like in their bedroom or something.
I think it was too. I think you're right.
And that's the power of today's technology. I mean, I've got enough shit in here to create an album if we wanted to. I don't know. I probably couldn't do it like Phineas, but
you might do it better.
Fuck. That dude, that's some patience to fucking layer the shit that he layered. That is patience and work and time. And I was impressed by that more than anything, that production. But also he's got a good piece of clay to work with in Billie Eilish. Like I've some of the new stuff we're going to get to off the new album. She can sing. She can really sing. Like she can actually sing. I'm not calling her Adele or anything like that.
Right.
But she can sing. I mean, there's no doubt about it that she is.
Women hate skinny Adele.
No, I don't blame them.
They hate skinny Adele.
You ever seen the rumors? You ever seen the rumor that why she hasn't toured in so many years is because she
Because
can't?
the women's going to kill her
Well,
for being skinny now.
not just that, but
What?
apparently, in the conspiracy community, it's because she can no longer hide her reptilian form any longer.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Now I sound like fucking Tyrone Bigham from Dave Chappelle. Red balls in a can. Yeah. But yeah, apparently she's a reptilian shapeshifter, and she's having trouble. You know, where she's getting a little older, she can't keep that Adele form up anymore.
Yeah, if you were a shapeshifter, I don't. Well, if I was a, what would you do if you were a shapeshifter? Would you be a musician? What would you
Man.
do?
I would probably ask to be in the next Space Jam
Would you?
for one. If Wes Borland happened to disappear, I would offer to shapeshift into some of his costumes and do what he was doing.
Cool. Good answer.
I'd probably turn myself into a dildo too, if we're being honest. I'd probably, if we're being completely honest, I just for a little bit.
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for, man.
I guess so. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to Billie Eilish. Man, where am I at? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Somewhere
you should
on
see
second
me
album.
in a crown.
I love that shit.
I love that song, and I
fucking
loved
dark.
that song a long time ago. Not a long time ago, but a while back when my son played this for me, it grabbed a hold of me. It got my attention. And I wondered after doing this review, I thought, was this produced by somebody else? Hell no, it was Phineas.
Phineas and Ferb, man.
Phineas did this.
Motherfuckers are
And
always
I
getting into
thought-
trouble, and their sister's always trying to get them in trouble. But Phineas and Ferb, or just Phineas, kills it, man. The
what
guy's
a
got
good
talent.
song.
I love it.
Me too.
I still love it. It might be my favorite.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
my. It's my.
It's just there's something about it, and
Yeah.
that if she, just speaking early, even though we're only halfway through with her discography, if she capitalized and built on that sound, I would almost agree with Dave Grohl on her
Yeah.
having a Nirvana-like impact and taking modern music into a new direction, because I feel like she's touched the top of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Songs like "You Should See Me in a Crown," if she found a way to build off that, I would probably be in.
Oh, I would too. I guarantee
It's
it.
good shit.
Yeah. What else you got?
Well, after that song, "All Good Girls Go to Hell," I didn't care for it.
I didn't either.
That's the problem. I hear "You Should See Me in a Crown," and then the next song or two, I just can't get into it. And then "All Good Girls Go to Hell," remind me, or let me know if you heard this, but you had this little part of this song that went, it was like a 90s hip-hop Dr. Dre keep their heads ringing
Okay.
sound.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't do that. I can't listen to that.
Yeah.
Like it was seriously that noise, that Dr. Dre.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
Like, keep the heads ringing. That's all I could think of. I was like, there's just, I know that there's a lot of music before this girl became popular, but some of this stuff is just, I guess if you're super young, you would never recognize it. But being
yeah.
40-year-old supermodels that we are, yeah, I recognize so many sounds that I'm like, she had to have heard "Keep Their Heads Ringing" to put something like that in there. Or Phineas, I guess, maybe. I think he's older. He's definitely older than her, so he probably knew it. But,
Okay.
you know.
That's a very good observation. I missed that.
I just, there's just some stuff here that was off-putting to me, but man, when she hits, she hits.
Yeah.
"Wish You Were Gay," nothing great, nothing there that I really loved about that song. It was
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
"When the Party's Over."
What'd you think of that song?
Okay, this is where this is where I go back and forth again, because she's not doing that dark shit. She's not doing the fucking, "See Me in a Crown" copycat bad guy stuff. This is
Yeah.
a ballad. It's fucking good,
It's a
man.
good song.
I watched the Howard Stern performance of this,
Oh, did ya?
and Phineas is playing the piano on it and singing backup vocals.
No shit.
She nailed it, like fucking nailed it. And Phineas has a beautiful voice himself.
Really?
And plays piano beautifully. I was
Yeah.
like, okay. And this was, I watched that after doing this whole review, I was like, I'm going to go back because I told myself I was going to give Billie Eilish more than a once through.
Yeah, sure.
I was going to work my ass off and listen to her and find out what the big deal is.
Yeah.
That performance on Howard Stern,
Pirate Beard,
Eilish really won me over, and I was really impressed by it.
Good.
I
I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, I'll play it after this because it is just beautiful.
Yeah.
And I was just so impressed because she is multi-talented and just there's a lot of layers to her, and she's 19.
Yeah.
So at this point, I have no problem saying I do have a lot of hope that she's going to do something great. Not that she hasn't already. She's huge.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could see myself getting sucked into her music in the future based off of some of the singles we've heard here and that performance on Howard Stern, which was mesmerizing.
Okay.
So,
good.
Yeah.
Good.
So I've got hope there. But
Yeah.
that When the Party's Over song, I'd heard it before, and I didn't really pay much attention to it. But doing this review, I paid attention to it this time, and I was really impressed. Did you feel the same?
I like the song.
It's really good.
I liked it.
It's good. And to see a girl that's not even 20 yet, still
Right.
a teenager,
Right.
doing that shit, I was like, man, this is good. But as usual, the next track, Jack Johnson-ish, My Strange Addiction. I was like, Buy a Friend. The Buy a Friend also had some
Barry.
Kanye-like shit in it.
Bury a Friend.
Bury a Friend. I'm
I
sorry.
think.
It is Bury a Friend.
Okay.
There's some Kanye stuff in here, like the whole. I'm trying to think of the sound. I wrote it down, and I'm like, the shit that that comedian was making fun of, like the whole. Oh no, I know. Is in that song there was a lot of that, like in the background, someone going, "Ah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
hey." And I'm like, all right, she likes Kanye too, wearing some of these influences on her sleeve,
Like a Puff Daddy in the background.
like Puff Daddy in the background. Yeah, I'm rich. Yeah. Fred Durst in the background would have been better. But, the rest of this album, I don't have anything to say about the rest. It lost me after When the Party's Over because it just went down that super soft, I want to be a real singer path. And I was like, you don't need to be.
Yeah.
You've got a quality with your brother's production that works.
Sure.
You don't have to stray from it, but I guess at the same time she did When the Party's Over. So
Yeah, I think so
she's telling
too.
me to shut the fuck up with that one.
Yeah, and You Should See Me in a Crown. I hate to go back to that track. I tell you what, man, I hear that and it takes me away. I mean, it just numbs my mind, and that's what I want. And it just makes me feel better.
Yeah, me too. It takes my mind off everything.
It's just me into another
focusing.
gear. Yeah, and it's like, oh my God,
It's like Tool with all those noises. Maynard saying it. Yeah. It's there's a lot of layers in that shit, and I focused to try to hear sounds I didn't hear before.
It's such a good track, but definitely like this album more than the first album.
Yeah, me too. This is definitely my favorite.
Mine too.
And it's the one that, pretty much broke out and got her super famous, so
Okay.
I can appreciate that.
Okay.
I'm ready to talk about the next one because we didn't talk about this shit much.
Yeah.
We kind of quit talking. We said we were going to hold our thoughts close to the vest and not ruin the reaction from each other's experience. But I take it you really weren't enjoying the newest album just released recently. Happier Than Ever with blonde 19-year-old, half eyes open because she took a Zanny. Pirate Beard Eilish.
Yeah. My son and I skimmed through this album on our way home, and I see a sticker up on your refrigerator that says Apollo Records. We went to Apollo Records, our first time visit. It's been a long time since we've been to an actual physical record store.
Yeah, they smell good.
Oh, man.
Got that smell.
I missed that so much, and my son was so pumped up. He's like, how do records work? And I'm like,
You
man.
throw 'em.
I'm like, man.
Zombies.
There's unless they're good.
Purple Rain.
There were a few that he held back. Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
What there? Yeah, he's like, don't throw that one.
Don't throw that one.
And then it was Dire Straits.
Dire Straits.
And he said, throw
Wing
that
it,
shit.
wing
Oh, that's good shit.
Validation.
But my son's like, how do records work? I'm like, they cut these little grooves. He says, I get that, but out of the little grooves, he said, how did one person come up with the idea to put these grooves? I said, shut the hell up and eat your taco. You're making my head hurt. And let's listen to Billie Eilish. But we went out to a record store, man. It was just so good to go in there and just physically hold albums.
Yeah, man.
And I told that dude, I said, this has been said a gazillion times, but it feels so good just to hold an album, see the cover art, open it up and smell the album. It's just so nice, and I appreciate the shit out of you guys. I don't need this stuff, but I'm going to spend $100 just to support your ass. Give me a T-shirt. Give me Kanye's first album. My son bought a bunch of goth shit.
Give me that Dire Straits because I saw a zombie on my way in here.
Yeah, so I said, throw that shit in there. We'll be back next payday, blah, blah, blah. But I just kind of went off on a tangent. And this album was, right when you first walk in, brand new album, Billie Eilish. I put it on the front. So we listened to this.
Was it on vinyl?
It was on vinyl.
Everything sounds better on vinyl, dude.
I'm going to take the vinyl. I'm going to bite the vinyl bullet.
I've been wanting to.
I don't really have the setup, the area for it, but I'm going to build the air. I'm not going to build, but I'm going to clean some shit up. Man, just going into a record store, I want my man cave at home to be not so much like a record store, just a little bit of a
vintage feel.
I just want that because I miss it so much and it makes me feel better.
I never thought I'd say this, and I've owned one. I want a minivan. You know how minivans have that super sloped front glass and that really long fucking top console that, you could put all your possessions on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could, if you want to reach down to the vent where the defrost is, like half your arm's sticking down in there.
Yeah.
I want a fucking in-dash record player in my minivan.
Yeah.
That's more of a joke than anything. But,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know when I would listen to records because really my music places work. I have music on while I'm working, and I can't really have, big-ass speaker cabinets and a record player in there, but I would love to have a record player and that speaker setup I showed you from YouTube, the hanging speakers that you can build on your own. That'd be so cool, but realistically, until I have a house and my kids are gone, maybe I need to buy that big record player now and just try to
start your collection.
Keep it up until I'm empty nested and then sit back like the dude in the Maxell cassette thing.
Oh, yeah.
The wind blowing by him in the chair. And just listen to my records. But that record store is really cool.
Oh, it's cool. Good staff. It was just nice. It was so nice. Zero Beastie. Well, there was one Beastie Boys album. It was the punk album.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't want it.
Or so,
and I even looked at cassette tapes. They had cassette tapes.
Yeah.
I was digging through those looking for, I got to find some Beastie Boys. We'll put it in the studio just as a eye candy, but didn't find anything. No Tool either. So, but anyways, we listened to this album on the way home and back from the record store. And my son was shaking his head. And, he said, this sounds so much like the first album. And you and I were kind of talking that day, and you brought up the Lily Allen, and I was like, you were listening to Lily Allen? He's like, no. And I sent him, we played some Lily Allen. He's okay, yeah, I know who she is. I see the resemblance, and but we did not dig this album. I went back and tried to revisit it today. I probably should have given it more of a chance, but I was not digging it.
Yeah. I can say I also was not digging it, but I also listened to this one more than any of the other ones.
Did you? Okay.
Because I didn't want to give up on it because I liked the second album enough to know that there was a possibility that I'd like this one if I just gave it the time. Because there's a whole lot of albums that I listen to now that I did not like when they came out.
Sure, yeah, I understand that.
I can't think of a great example off the top of my head. Well, Beastie Boys is a good example, to be honest, because Paul's Boutique I thought was pretty cool, but I was like, I don't understand why it's such a classic. And now Paul's Boutique is my favorite. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. You just have to let it soak in a little bit.
Sure.
So I decided to listen to this one a lot. Now, before getting into the track listing, that doesn't mean that I ended up loving it, but I definitely like it more than the first listen. The first listen, I literally was like, I can't do this.
I'm still at that point.
I just couldn't. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I think I figured out why. So, track 1 on this album, Getting Older. You had the power of Copycat and the power of Bad Guy.
Sure.
You had that powerful opening. So when I hear this opening, which is just a little light piano, and her going, I'm getting older, da-dun-dun, da-dun-dun, and it's so slow and methodical, and I was like, no, this isn't working for me. But the more I listen to it, I actually like this song now.
Okay.
It just didn't hit me like a ton of bricks like her first 2 opening tracks did. This felt like a middle track from one of the last 2 albums. One of the tracks I just kind of wrote off as like, it's fine. It's, whatever. Like I felt like this was something that belonged on the last 5 tracks of the album we just talked about that I just didn't even have notes on. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I ended up actually liking it. And then came I Didn't Change My Number. I still don't like that song, but it grew on me a little bit too. Same with Billy Bossa Nova. It was kind of, at first I was a little bit annoyed with it, and now I think it's kind of vibey. Interrupt me if you have any notes on any songs that stood out to you, but My Future was track 4. I thought it was very Adele-ish and Amy Winehouse-ish.
Okay.
It was fine. So these first 4 tracks, this is why I didn't like the album, because it was a different tone and a different pace than anything she had done, in my opinion. And I instantly wrote it off. But the more I listened to it, I thought it's kind of growth, but it's not as original as some of the cool shit I've heard her do. And I still stand by that. This isn't game-changing stuff, but I did end up coming around to it a little bit. And then you got the song Oxytocin, which is a return to John Wick soundtrack levels, and it's a fucking banger. I was digging it hard.
Okay.
Hard. It was, yeah. You act like you may have forgotten that one.
I should revisit it probably.
That song, Oxytocin, it went right back. It went right back to like her really creative, really polished production, and it was really good. And that I started feeling this album a little more after hearing Oxytocin and hearing the first 4 tracks multiple times, because I admittedly listened to this at work at first, and it was background music for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still at that state.
But the Gold Wing, the 6th track after Oxytocin, I came around to it and started digging it. But then we have the same thing, Lost Cause and Haley's Comet, the next 2 songs, 7 and 8. It was kind of a lull for me. I was kind of getting lost in it again. I was like, there's definitely dull points here. Track 9, Not My Responsibility. I'm sorry. I try not to be disrespectful, but I thought this was just pretentious bullshit.
Okay.
It was her talking about it's not her responsibility to be a certain way and look a certain way and entertain you a certain way. And I'm like, get over yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just, I know you're 19. It's forgivable.
Yeah.
And it's just my opinion. I'm sure some Billie Eilish fans will be like, kill the Bart guy from that podcast.
Yeah.
And I'll just be running going, I just wanted a nookie. But I mean, it just, I hated this song so much because it's like, sorry to go off on a completely different direction, but there's a headline the past few days that like LeBron James didn't get voted by anyone in a poll as being the best player in the NBA for the first time. And he responded to it with a tweet like, just going to make me stronger. Like, don't respond to it, you jackass.
Just don't say anything.
Why do you give a fuck? Like, if you know you're good, just go out and prove it. Why tweet? And this song to me was like a tweet saying like, just leave me alone. Like, you don't have to say that.
Yeah.
You're famous as fuck. Fuck the haters. Fuck me for not liking it.
Oh, yeah.
Piss on that Bart guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Piss on me. R. Kelly. I'm into it.
His face.
Piss face. Pee face. Just don't feed into it. You don't need to. You're never going to satisfy everyone. So don't give a response, like even Fred Durst doesn't give responses. Like, hey, motherfucker, you caused that shit at Woodstock. Like, yeah.
Acknowledging it kind of turns the energy in a different direction.
It
that's
does.
That's a good
Yeah.
observation.
Tell people to fuck off. just tell them to fuck off and keep making music. They'll forget about it. But if you keep talking about it yourself, they're never going to forget about it. So this song was a little pretentious. I just didn't like it. Overheated, I dug it a little bit. Everybody Dies, I was like, Your Power, I was like, NDA, I thought was okay. Sounded like the band Muse to me in a big way. Therefore I Am, pretty solid. Title track, Happier Than Ever, I thought it was trying too hard to be some epic, long form prog jam. Didn't really dig it. And then you got Male Fantasy. I didn't care for that one that much either. But this album overall, it grew on me. At first, I didn't even want to mess with it. But there's enough songs on here that I did kind of dig it. There was some Tyler, the Creator tones on here as well.
Okay. And
some of this discography I felt was influenced by 90s industrial as well. Just a few thoughts I wrote down to the side. But overall, I think every album has between 2 and 4 really good tracks. And to me, for someone that's 19 years old with 3 albums and 7 to 10 songs that I really like spread out amongst those 3 albums, good job.
Sure, yeah.
Like, well done. Like, you there's something there, and I hope she and Phineas and Ferb figure it out and absolutely release something that's just epic.
Give me
Like,
that
epic
dark shit.
Give me that dark shit. That dark shit's good. And
It is.
do I'm not trying to tell her how to do her job. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. But if she makes this album, I'm going to love it. And it's 80% of that dark shit with a couple of those beautiful ballads like the one we talked about on 2, the When the Party's Over.
Yeah.
Give me a bunch of dark shit and throw a couple of those When the Party's Over in there, 2 of them maybe on an album, and I'll eat that shit up.
Yeah.
Like, I will totally eat that shit up. So to kind of end my thoughts on it and hand it over to you, not end completely my thoughts, but I get the hype and I don't get the hype. So I'm kind of there with Patrick Carney from Black Keys. I get it and I don't. He didn't say both. He just said but I get it and I don't get it. So the fact that I even 50% get it means that I am very hopeful for her that she's going to grow as an artist. Seriously, 3 albums, 19, as big as she is, songs that I think are really fucking good, and you've done that at 19. At 30, we may be talking about her as, just in a different light.
Sure, yeah.
Even us middle-aged guys might be talking about like, oh, Billie Eilish, man. I watched her come up, and it was magic.
We were
Could
there
happen.
day one. We saw day one.
That's right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I'm more of a fan of the dark shit. That's what got my attention.
Her dark shit's good. Did you watch any of her music videos? Because I watched a few of them, and that won me over a little more too.
No, but I will.
She's a weird motherfucker on those videos.
I like that.
Oh man, it's
that
good.
Might.
It's good, and it's fun.
Okay.
So I was kind of impressed there, but final thought, very much a dark Lily Allen to me, and
that makes sense.
A little darker Amy Winehouse kind of thing. And I'm not trying to take anything away from her, but I think a large part of her being so big, musically popular,
Say it.
the clothes, the outfits, the hair, the green and black, it's not quite grunge, but it is falling into place with the resurgence of some of those looks. That Howard Stern performance, she was wearing like black jeans with all the loops and buckles and, that kind of goth shit from the 90s. But her top shirt was something anime. It's like this blend of new and old.
Yeah.
And the baggy shit and the fact that she wasn't trying to be sexy. And it's like, if you really think about it, there's millions and millions of girls and guys that see her intentionally not trying to show her body. So her body, at least at first, her body's not a factor in her popularity or her music, which was extremely fucking smart.
Yeah.
Because all those people out there that love music that don't have that body too, or that don't care about that body, really probably bought into her hardcore. She was probably their fucking hero.
That's a very good observation.
We've got a fucking megastar
that's
not even showed us an inch of skin.
It's our fat Adele.
Yeah. Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
Now, lo and behold, Billie Eilish underneath all those clothes is built like a fucking brick house.
Was it a magazine
Vogue.
cover?
Like Vogue, France Vogue, or
That was it was beautiful.
beautiful, man. And I, I was half disappointed that she did it because I'm like, you didn't need to. But then again, I was half like, you waited longer than any other star I've ever seen.
It was a good transition. It was a positive.
So, yeah, it was, and she's beautiful.
Sure.
Facially, body, but she didn't need to be.
Yeah.
She didn't need to be, and she proved that she could rise to the top without any of that being a factor, and I respect that. So I thought that was cool. I think the way she's done everything is pretty cool. Yeah, there's the controversy of her, mouthing a word. She's like fucking 13, dude. I'm sorry. I don't like to give a lot of people a pass on any kind of racism or homophobic shit.
Right.
And I don't give people a pass in most cases. But if we're talking about something someone did 20 years ago, when they were 10, 12, 13, motherfucker, you're going to have to give them a minute to grow.
Yeah.
Because everyone's a fucking dumbass before they hit about 30.
I'm still a dumbass.
I'm still a dumbass too, but not in those ways. And you're not either. But,
yeah.
but I mean, there's growth. Human growth is a real thing. Like sometimes you're scared of what you don't know. And, I think she was just mouthing along to one of her favorite songs and said the word she shouldn't have said. That, not excusing it, but she's fucking young. Like she's 13, dude. Like your mind is not even half developed at that point. Just
if she was doing it every day for 6 years, might be a different story. Yeah.
Different story. Yeah. So the controversy there, I forgive you, Billie. I mean, you're 13.
Yeah.
That's whatever. I would be lying if I said that I didn't ever say anything shitty when I was under 20. I probably did. I don't remember any true instances, but I guarantee I said something somewhere along the line that, I grew out of. I don't know what it would have been, but I'm sure I did. Probably accents, because I catch myself now doing fucking impressions and accents. Sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, they're foreign. I can't do that because it'll be perceived as this. I got to watch myself. There's... Yeah, we're humans. We make mistakes.
Sure.
If you got a good heart underneath of it, then people should look over it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Morgan Wallen, motherfuckers like that. Sorry, I'm not looking. I'm not looking past that shit. You mulleted fuck. Go away.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Can't do it. Fred Durst, I don't know. The jury's out on whether I can forgive him for using homophobic slurs early on in his career. I don't know yet. He'd have to tell me. I heard him talking about vaccination and other shit on that Lollapalooza thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, it seems like there's growth there. He's 51. I hope the fuck that he grew up a little bit. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Billie Eilish, I look forward to hearing more. That being said, I mean, I'm probably not going to be listening to this stuff very often. I might.
Yeah, I'm not either.
If I hear some of the dark songs, I'll be like, no, don't turn that. This is cool. Yeah. I liked it. I mean, I liked it. I didn't love it. So we'll see what happens from here, but I definitely see what the hype is about, but it's not quite for me at the same time.
Sure, exactly. That's what it's just not for me really.
Glad I did it because I know now. Like if she comes out with something that just knocks my fucking socks off or kicks my ass in the future, I'll be like, yeah, this is way better than her old stuff. Even though I liked some of her old stuff. So
yeah, hats
off, and at the same time, meh. Yeah. It's a mix. It's a mix.
I'm not. Some of the other reviews
fucking
we've
tear
done.
Apart, Hicks.
The other reviews we've done. It's. There were some points I was just angry and ready to move on to something else.
Yeah.
But some of the reviews we did, I was angry the whole time because I didn't like any of it. Whereas with Billie Eilish, I enjoyed some of it, so it was a roller coaster ride for me.
Yeah, I'll help you.
Okay.
I'll help you put her up on a pedestal real quick.
Okay.
How hard did she fucking blow the doors off of Dire Straits?
Oh, she blew the doors
There you go, Billy. There you go.
Oh, you kicked their ass.
Kicked their ass. And you're 19. This Mark Knopfler's fucking 112 years old and can play the guitar better than most humans, and you still just knocked them on their ass musically.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
Phineas is a wizard.
Fucking pirate beard Eilish. You fucking did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. All jokes aside, It was fun, but I am looking forward to Limp Bizkit. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I'm not so worried about being disrespectful to Fred Durst because he's been a he's been a cock stain a few times.
And
in his life.
I want to look more into that.
Yeah, we're probably going to research this one a little more because it's going to be a fun one. I'd probably prepare for an hour and a half of Limp Bizkit if I was you folks listening.
Sure.
It's going to be, if you thought I said, yeah, too many times on this one, I'm probably going to bust out a few verses on the Limp Bizkit one. I mean, I'll probably practice and study some, everybody sounding like a chump. Hey, like a chump. Hey.
And if I had
Been feeling bad? Hey, you been feeling good? Suck 'em in the head. Fake ass titties on a fucked up chest. Yeah.
If I had the energy, my family, which they're big into Halloween and costumes and shit, I would come in as mocked up West Portland if I had the energy. But I'll
probably wear a backwards red hat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna look a lot. I might even shave all this out except this little thing. I might be all dursted out when this happens.
I might show up in all white with white face.
That'd be great.
Makeup and
fucking LED mask.
LED mask.
I fucking love it. 2 weeks away, Phipps. He said, when is that show? 2 weeks. Limp fucking biscuit. You also informed me what a soggy biscuit was. Never
I've heard
will
that
I
story.
get into that. Never will I be a part of that.
I had a farmer friend who
fucking love
would
farmers. Fuck, God bless those farmers.
I had a farmer friend who had a big
fucking love 'em,
business
man, farmers.
and had help coming in and out like gypsies, and one was he was from New Zealand, and he was telling the story of the soggy biscuit. And of course, this farmer guy told me the story about the soggy biscuit.
Google it, folks. Soggy biscuit.
Don't do it. Just Google it.
It's called an ookie cookie.
Ookie cookie.
Ookie cookie here in the States. Ookie cookie. Ookie cookie. Ookie cookie.
Could you imagine rolling up on that?
Nope.
I couldn't either.
Nope.
No.
You know what they do to Debbie at the end of Debbie Does Dallas? They do that on a biscuit.
What's a loser have to do?
Last person to,
glaze it.
Sog the biscuit gets to put it down the hatch.
Oh, my God.
With no Popeye's chicken.
Oh, my God. Shoot me.
It's terrible. Yeah, I'd just go ahead and run. I mean, I'd just go ahead and run.
You're next to last.
Or I would just...
You just see Barker's ass disappearing in the woods.
But in all realness, though, I'd be halfway there by the time I got there. I'd be like... I'd be getting out of the car, halfway there, pull my pants up, be like, I'm ready, boys. Let's fucking ookie this cookie,
Oh, my God, that's the most disgusting thing.
It's pretty fucked up. Again, if you haven't caught the gist, just look the shit up. Or don't hit images on Google search. Just look that up. Just read the text. Yeah, he's probably been in on that shit. I feel like Phipps has been like, Pirate Beard's here to fucking sog that cookie. Or biscuit, whatever the fuck.
I bet his South Street Ninja friend has been in on that.
Yeah, probably so. I'm with you. I bet that dude that loves farmers has been in on that shit too. Fucking love farmers. You ever done a soggy biscuit with the farmers? No, I haven't. Oh man, I love those farmers. Those farmers. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
2 weeks. We're going to be doing this on Thursday or Saturday or something. We get football season is here, and Hicks loves him some football. Hicks loves high school football.
Man, speaking of football, I was so heartbroken because I found one thing that I thought was badass about football. I am not a sports guy. I respect it.
I know where this is going.
But I don't like it. And I sent you a message, and I said, and I'm screaming. I'm talking loud because I'm excited. But I said, oh, my God, dude, I saw this Tom Brady TikTok where he threw the football into the fucking football launcher mechanism, which I don't know what that shit is.
It's a pretty good description.
And Barker's like, that shit's fake. And I said, you just broke my fucking heart.
Yeah, somebody screened themselves in a green suit, like making sure the ball went into the thing and like.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Blew up.
Fuck that guy.
Went viral. Fuck you, Tom.
Fuck that guy. Fuck football.
Fuck football.
The only thing I ever enjoyed, and it just was fucking.
Fake.
It was in my face, and then it just disappeared.
It was pretty cool.
I'll go back to motorcycles.
It was pretty cool.
It was.
It was.
Yeah, I thought that motherfucker's a wizard.
I know. I thought that too. I was like, he's the GOAT.
Did people hate on that?
No, they
Really?
still enjoy
He
it.
could probably fucking
Do a Soggy Biscuit video and people
and
still eat it
people
up.
love that shit.
Literally.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I'm great. I feel the greatness in me. Thanks for joining us. We will be back with some limp, not soggy. Some
Soggy limp biscuit.
biscuit. Thanks for listening. Peace out.
See you, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Stuck in My Generation. Again, if you want to suggest bands for us to listen to, send it over to stuckinmygeneration@gmail.com.